Hi, I'm Gejo. Actually, I thought of giving my perspective on CLAT 2020 changes. I've already there is a video that I took yesterday, but I thought let me give a perspective because there are all. What has happened is 2 days ago there is a press release that came out and people are now discussing and contemplating what is going on, what's happening. There is and there are a lot of discussion happening around. So I thought let me give my perspective on this, and please do understand this is purely my perspective. I'm not saying this is the best perspective. I think this makes sense to me. I want to share that with you, and hopefully it should make sense to you as well. Now, what's happening now is there is a lot of noise, including people like me. When I say people like me, people who train for this exam, who've been around for a while doing these things, and your friends, and everybody is saying a lot of things about it. Oh, what's going on? What is this? Some people are happy, some people are saying that what did they do, and all those things that are happening. In all this noise, some things are missing out. So I thought that let me talk about certain facts. So let's cut all the noise and get to the facts. The noise number one is, what about all the preparation I did so far? I've started from my 11th standard and I'm my 12th and the board is going to come and I've prepared so much. Let me give you a perspective and to clear this myth that about your preparation done so far. Okay. This is the English section of the CLAT over the years. Now, if you look at, there are questions for reading comprehension, RC, reasoning based questions, which are those paragraph jumble questions. For example, you're given a paragraph and asked to put in the right order, grammar based question and vocabulary based question. Now, you have a test in 2011, only asked RC. There are some questions which had got, let's say, about 10 questions of reading comprehension, some there are only 5. Some had quite a few grammar based questions, some had very few. So, if you tell me, when you are preparing for a 20 test, do you know exactly what type of question is going to come? You know there are going to be 40 questions at least. 3 days ago, let's look at 3 days ago, before the press release, that time. When you're preparing for this test, which particular pattern did you have in your mind? 2008, 2011, 2014? What do you have in your mind? You were preparing for this test and you were ready for any pattern. I'm guessing that's what you were doing, right? So, why are you worried? Why? Why are you worried now? You were anyway prepared for anything. Anything. Let's look at, for example, GK section. There is current affairs questions and there is static GK questions. Yeah, but 3 days ago, when you looked at a 2020 paper, what were you preparing? Were you preparing for a 2011 kind of a paper, which has got only current affairs? Or, for example, a 2010 paper, which has got quite a few static GK questions? Or a 2015 or 2016 paper, which has got about 40 questions on current affairs? In 2020, what did you have in your mind? Were you sure 100% how many current affairs questions is going to come and how many strategic questions are going to come 3 days ago? So why are you worried now? Now, it's not making sense to me. I don't know whether it makes sense to you, but you are prepared for anything. Let's go and look at legal section. There are questions which ask legal reasoning, which is fact principle questions, and there are legal GK. Were you prepared for 2009 kind of a paper or 2010 kind of a paper, which only asks legal GK, or 2011, which asks only legal reasoning, or 2013, which asks only legal reasoning, or is it 2015, less of legal reasoning, more of legal GK, or is like 2017, more of legal reasoning, less of legal GK? For 2020 paper, what did you have in your mind? If anyone is going to come here, like me, people like me who trains, who 3 days ago, who would have probably told you this is going to come in the test, that guy would be lying because that guy has no idea. I have no idea. 3 days ago, you didn't have any idea. You were preparing for any eventuality. So what are you worried about now? Math, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths. There are certain things. Modern maths, for example, permutations, combination, were asked in few tests, not everywhere. In some cases, you had only arithmetic. or majority arithmetic. And some even other areas as well. Algebra, for example, 2012. Quite a few questions. In 2020, what did you have in mind? Now, people are now saying data interpretation. They're going to ask me data interpretation. From where data interpretation came? People are now shouting. But in 2015, if you look at that question, that's the data. This is data interpretation. CLAT has asked data interpretation questions. So what are you worried about? And if you were someone who was serious test taker, really working hard, you would have known the data interpretation question had come in the CLAT. So in your preparation would have included data interpretation questions. So what are you worried? Logic section. In which case, there are some analytical reasoning questions. There are areas where analytical reasoning questions were more. There are areas where verbal reasoning questions were more. And there are some 20, 25 types of questions across the years. The CLAT has asked in 1 year, the CLAT has asked new type of questions. In 2020, you had no idea exactly what is the composition. You are basically saying that, okay, fine, these are all the questions that CLAT has asked in the previous years. I'll prepare for everything. And maybe even CLAT asks a new question. You are telling yourself, bring it on. I will handle. So what are you worried about? Let's cut the noise. CLAT is giving us clarity. CLAT is telling us now, for example, if I go one by one, CLAT is now telling us comprehension is important, reasoning is important. I'm not going to ask you any direct vocabulary question. I'm not going to put a word called palpable and tell me what the meaning is. And CLAT is saying that I'm going to ask you very specific kind of question. In CLAT GK section, what CLAT is telling me, I'm not going to ask you static GK, it is out. I want to ask you current affairs. CLAT is giving me clarity. Next one, in legal questions, first of all, whether legal is there or not there, I don't know, but I'm guessing it's going to be there because at the end of the day, legal reasoning is inferential reasoning. You don't need any knowledge, right? Principle is given, which means the criteria is given, fact is given, apply the criteria from the principle onto the fact and make your inference and answer the question. CLAT is definitely saying that I'm not going to ask you legal GK. You've been mugging here section 1, section 2, section 3, 300, 400, entire constitution, itna bada hai wo. Okay. And now CLAT is giving us clarity. So don't do all that. Focus on reasoning. Maths CLAT is giving a clarity. I'm not going to ask you a question like, two people started working, after today decided, we'll stop it. And third person joined, how long will it take, man? Such kind of question CLAT is saying, I'm not asked, I will ask you certain other kind of questions. Analytical logic is anyway going to be there. So, ladies and gentlemen, CLAT is giving us absolute clarity. This is really good. It's awesome. So, chill. And why are you sitting and cribbing about the whole chain when you know that this is amazing? You know how it sounds? 3 days ago, CLAT never told us what is going to happen. Never. Now CLAT is telling us, this is what we're going to do. You're saying, why did you tell me? I was preparing for static GK. Why did you tell me that is not important? Why did you tell me? How crazy it is. I believe that from 200 questions, CLAT has cut it down to 120 or 150. That's a plan. If CLAT had kept it at 200 and asked no legal GK questions, no static GK, only current affairs, data interpretation question for maths, no vocabulary question, reading comprehension question. If CLAT has given the paper, you would not have cribbed. You would have come out of the CLAT and said, oh, awesome paper it was. No static GK. You would have moved on. Like how people moved on in a 2011 paper. People went, okay, nobody cribbed. You were ready for any test. The only reason is CLAT is now reduced the number of questions for your benefit. And CLAT is now giving us reason as to why they did it. And what kind of question is going to come. CLAT is giving us absolute clarity. And why I should be happy. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I getting this whole thing wrong? I don't know. Okay. I'll be thrilled with this whole change. Now the second thing is, there is a complete change in pattern. Pattern ko change hi kar diya log. Like, bro, Let's check out some things. There are some questions which is testing memory. For example, all these are kind of question which you take information, hope that it remains. Please let it be in my head. Let me in my head till May 20th. After that, I don't need you. Okay, who went to the moon? Okay, who went to the moon? Armstrong by Armstrong. Please be there. And then the examination, chuck it, and then forget about it. Those kind of questions. The question that may ask static GK question, which may ask question like, what is the composition of ethyl alcohol or ethanol? Not really interested in the composition. I'm planning to have some of them after my CLAT exam, but those kind of questions. Memory, and some are comprehension based questions. Please understand, comprehension does not mean writing stuff. Comprehension simply means understanding. Your ability to understand certain thing and make inference out of it. Now let's look at each area. And here I put test memory and test of comprehension. This is like the past CLAT, a usual CLAT. Let me put it that way, usual CLAT. I'm not saying every single CLAT, but a usual CLAT. Usual, okay, my USUAL, that makes sense. English, reading comprehension questions, paragraph based questions. Those are testing comprehension or understanding or reasoning. So no knowledge. Contextual questions of vocabulary. Let's say a sentence is given. One, there is a blank, you are asked to fill which word fits in the blank, that is contextual. Those kind of questions test your comprehension, and a direct vocabulary based questions or a direct grammar. What is this? Adjective, noun, batao. What is it? Tell me. Is it adjective, is it noun, adverb? Those kind of questions. That is memory. So there are these 20 like that, roughly, and 20 here, roughly. Okay, let's keep that aside. Static GK is pure test of memory, right? Static GK. But current affairs is a test of your understanding about what's happening around you. These are information that happens around you. That is one sense a test of understanding. In one sense, your ability to understand things, that is an environment that happens around you. That would be about roughly 35, and we have this 15. Math, there are certain questions which is absolute formula based. If you know the formula, you can do it. If you don't know the formula, you are dead. What is the volume of this cube of radius 10? Formula, what is the formula? I don't know. Then you are dead. Such kind of question. And there are these logic and reasoning based questions. Some are there in normal math, some are there. For example, I will put a graph and say, okay, point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Out of this point, which had the maximum growth? So you will say, oh, dikh raha hai, idhar hi hai, maximum growth happened there. So such kind of thing, right? Which requires comprehension. That's about, let's say, 10 and 10 there. Legal GK is completely about memory. GK is about your memory. Once you become a lawyer, then maybe it's not about memory. Basically, you should know some bit of legal GK, but currently you are in your 12th standard. Memory. And legal reasoning is not based on memory, because that kind of question is based on inferential reasoning in one sense, or deductive reasoning in one sense, where you are given certain facts. As a principle or criteria, you use the criteria from the principle, apply all to the facts, see what is relevant, make an inference, and then answer the question. And logical reasoning is obviously not a test of memory. So completely a test of comprehension. If you actually look at everything, about 100 out of the 200 questions in the CLAT, about 140 questions were there, 60 questions were here. The CLAT has basically decided these tests are not probably testing the right skills. The skills that I really want in a lawyer are here. So why am I unnecessarily creating a test with these kind of questions which is actually not testing the skill? I believe that is the thought process. That's what I believe. That's from what I can understand from here. And I said that can I then cut down to 120, 150? That also solves one more problem. We are actually testing students, giving them 200 test items to be done in 2 hours. They're under tremendous pressure. Once the test starts, it's like, I don't know whether you remember the song Gangnam Style. Oh, Gangnam Style. That's how we used to write the CLAT. We go one question at a time. We keep solving. What is the type of tension? Oh, math session is done. So that chill. CLAT thought that it makes a lot of sense to give you less number of questions, let me test an understanding, and that's what it is. Now, what we don't know, of course, is the composition of the number of questions that can come, or what kind of questions, how many sections, those are the things that we don't know. But what we know for sure is that there are certain things that is definitely not going to be there. and certain things that is definitely going to be there. And please do understand, in my preparation for the CLAT, I have been preparing for all these things. I have been preparing for reading comprehension. I have been preparing for, oops, let me pick another color, yellow. Reading comprehension for paragraph based questions, contextual questions, current affairs, logical reasoning, legal reasoning, logical reasoning based maths question, logical reasoning based question. I've been preparing for all these ones, and CLAT is testing that. CLAT is now telling me very clearly, I've always been worried about strategy, always. I've always been worried about formula based question. I'm always been worried about legal GK. I'm always been worried about vocabulary. CLAT is saying that don't worry, we're not going to test you on things that you're worried about, and if you have the right kind of skills, that's what I'm testing. So ladies and gentlemen, where is the change in pattern? There is no change in pattern according to me, because CLAT is testing the very skills that CLAT has been testing all over these years. Only thing the CLAT has said, the changes are made to make the test better, test more relevant. So chill. Chill. If I were you, this is my perspective as a test taker. This is an awesome move. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for telling me exactly what is going to come. I've been worried 3 days ago about strategy GK. Now our worry is over. I'm a little disappointed that I've been preparing so hard for all this strategy GK 3 days ago. Now you're telling me it's not there. I'm feeling a little hurt, but at least I know that in the next 6 months that I have, the enough time that I have, I don't want to focus on that thing. I have a little problem, but it's okay, sir. You've given me good clarity. Thank you so much. This gives me great clarity. It is evaluating the right skills. I wanted to be a lawyer because I believe that I have certain skills, and I should be given an opportunity to demonstrate that skill in a test. Now you've been giving me a test which is testing my memory. That is not my skill. I have the right skill to be a lawyer. Now you're giving me the right kind of test. Thank you. Thank you. This is what I've been preparing for anyways. There's nothing new. Some things are removed, but nothing new. And then plus, I don't have to be stressed about time management. Thank you about it. Thank you, CLAT. Now I'm chill. Okay. Of course, mentally, a board exam is there, which is going to come now. But at least mentally, I'm chill, and I know I can plan myself very better. I know exactly what needs to be done, and I'm also chill because we have LST here. People like me are there. Okay, LST. We're going to take care. They will take care of us. Okay, they'll give me the right kind of questions. I'm chill. I've got the right kind of mentor, and you will give me the right kind of direction. Obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit and slog. That is my perspective. No, I don't know whether you agree with me, disagree with me. Actually, I don't care. Okay, this is my perspective. If you want to listen to what I'm saying, that's good news for you. And just don't worry. Focus on the right thing the next 1 month. And if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please do post in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to answer as and when I get time. Thank you and see you.